It's time. It's time for every one of us. If we get knocked down, we won't just get up. It's time we all rise up. Rise up.
So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here.
Starfield is Bethesda's highly anticipated sci-fi take on their own genre-defining RPGs. You see that star? You can fast travel there. You see that field? You can spend far too long building an outpost there. It's all part of the plan. Todd's plan. 1,000 planets, more than 90 side quests, a new story, factions, and many more activities you'll never do in this handcrafted galaxy.
Too many missions, not enough time.
With an intense attention to detail and gorgeous audio and visuals, the game does everything you'd want it to. Yet there's still something lackluster behind the facade. This is my spoiler-free review of Starfield. Of Death. When Starfield was announced, I was excited to imagine all the intelligent alien races that would have been introduced. Culture, sociology, interspecies politics, literal xenophobia.
Damn elves.
All of these would have been good world building for a universe full of many different species. Are there droids with AI mainframes? That's a pretty Bethesda-y thing, right?
Many have wondered, though, can robots one day replace humans?
No.
All of that sacrificed in service of the human-centric storyline, which is finding the meaning of the universe, or whatever. I'd rather have multiple playable races and 100 planets than just humans and 1,000 planets.
I will search for you through 1,000 worlds and 10,000 lifetimes until I find you.
The gameplay is solid. Armor in this game consists of the new spacesuit, helmet, and boost pack. Each piece of equipment you find or craft can also have affixes that give even more bonuses to your build. Even clothing can give buffs. I'll give you an example of my build. Sephiroth Johnson. He's a Ronin swordsman who worships the Great Serpent, who's wanted by bounty hunters, and is an introvert. Here we go.
Made for hire turned dusty. I still got 5 credits saying you assassinated some Ryujin executive.
Even Barrett's in the game. And Vincent. It's basically FF7 Remake. Those familiar with Skyrim and Fallout will see many classic tropes. Persuasion checks.
And why in goodness name would I possibly agree to that ridiculous demand? Oh, just take the damn thing already.
Shouts.
Your abilities are amazing.
And something born. But this is still its own beast, with new features, such as Starships. One big downside here, though, is that you have to spec into certain skills to use traditionally basic mechanics. 1 rank in theft for pickpocketing, a rank in stealth to see the stealth meter, or to use boost packs at all. It's a bit of a bummer, because there's so many other things you want to invest in. Starfield is unfinished. Here are the most egregious examples that I found, that I know plagued other players. At some point after a major story event, Sarah will be talking to Walter, and Sarah will try to loop you into the conversation. If you leave that location and Sarah stays on your ship, she will hard lock you into the conversation whether you like it or not. And because Walter is not there, the conversation can't resolve and you are soft locked.
Walter and I were just discussing the expenses.
The only way I found to resolve this after a half hour of searching and testing was to unassign Sarah from your crew, sleep in a bed for a long time, try to do a fast travel without going into your ship at all, and then eventually going back to the lodge to finish the conversation. And I actually didn't understand why this was happening for a long time until I really delved into it. So a handful of hours of my gameplay sounded like this.
Really, Walter? There must be something. Really, Walter? Really, Walter? Come now. You must let me contribute. Come now. Come now. Come now. Come now. I appreciate what you're doing, Walter. But honestly, I appreciate
ship and I already want to kill myself.
The collector's ship bug. This is also tied to the main story. You board this guy's ship, he has a bunch of collection of things, you need to talk to him about something. But you can unleash a bunch of space bugs on his crew to kill them for fun. Neat.
Do a kickflip!
Unfortunately, because I was stealthing around earlier and stole some stuff and maybe killed somebody, but totally in secret, this made the collector's AI never want to talk to me. I eventually had to brute force it and just kill the guy. And then every NPC would not be hostile towards me even if I attacked them. This is a really weird bug that ruined my whole mission, but I just went on in spite of it. Then there's NPCs just falling out of the world. Just fucking whatever.
I hope you're having a good day.
And there's also a myriad of minor glitches, which I usually just laugh at, but given the time wasted and my enjoyment lost due to more serious bugs, these are just a little bit more offensive than usual now. $30-ish. So you can play it while you have Game Pass. That lady just disappeared.
Now that we have a moment, I wanted to ask how you're feeling.
Filthy pirate. We're not gonna forget this.
The game also generally just breaks immersion constantly. There's overlapping dialogue from multiple conversations that assaults the senses.
Sarah, please. Good work dealing with those merchants in Freestar Space. Well? What? I read your report.
Ships be wildin' out. And the list goes on. Alright, we're taking off. Hey!
Something touched me. Something warm and kind and good.
Another big reason to play these open world RPGs are to go and see the side quests. Everyone loves the Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Warriors Guild, but above all, the Mages Guild. Of course you went to Winterhold first.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
It's worth doing a couple of the major factions. There's the Pirates vs. Marine quest line, Ryujin Industries, which is about corpo, sabotage, and espionage, and little street gangs in a cyberpunk town, and more.
Looky here, just strolling into Disciple turf.
Many side quests I completed were underwhelming. And I'm not just talking about the filler quests on every random planet. That's like, hey, go scan these creatures.
I see you have a scanner there. Any interest in helping us out?
We need some assistance placing these sensors near the vents.
You know, literal MMO busy work. This game only has one of the M's, not the M or the O after it. But even the bigger side quests, the Red Mile for example, a casino that bets on death runs, whether competitors can run to the center of a crater filled with hazards.
Nothing quite like the excitement of a run.
And after a huge build-up and ceremony to get you entered, you finish the run and come back to... Alright, hey, where's my fanfare? No one cares that I did it. All you really get is a few lines of dialogue from the owner, a mid-weapon, and a few thousand creds. This was really a letdown for something that seemed really cool.
Nothing quite like the excitement of a run.
Inventory and menus. You are over-encumbered, and you must battle the menu constantly to figure out what you need to drop, bringing the gameplay to a grinding halt. It doesn't help that the menus are clunky and awkward to navigate, so be prepared for one of the worst UI experiences in any game. And despite there being multiple perks related to unarmed combat, there's no way to bind your unarmed fists to a quick key. You have to manually go through the menus and unequip every time. It would also be nice if we had more than 12 quick keys, especially when there's like 1,000 consumables in the game. Starships are a novel addition, but become mind-numbing to optimize for your average le gamer. I appreciate this system that they implemented, and I'm sure there's a crowd for this type of stuff, specifically the people who got scammed and gaslit by Chris Roberts for Star Citizen. That's me. I'm the one who got scammed. It's coming out, right? They got like 1,000 people working on it, right? But the ship combat is just boring as hell. And changing power from system to system mid-combat is the epitome of, it looked good on paper. And it's neat that you can heavily customize the ships, but the few times you're required to do some dogfights, any default ship will get the job done. And when you're fast traveling and you do get stopped in your starship for something like a contraband check or docking procedure, it's a very repetitive obstacle that you just don't want to see anymore. I know some people are gonna say, well, yeah, you're in space, so it's gotta be that way. And I'm saying, it sucks, and this is a problem that they made, and I don't like it.
I'm going to demonstrate Newton's third law on this guy's temporal lobe.
This world, or should I say, Starfield, feels empty. It doesn't feel like humans have been populating the settled systems for a couple hundred years. And with the 1,000 planets out there comes a lot of expectation. I know for a fact that there's a giant bird or something in Fallout 76. So I just imagined all the humongous dune worms that must be out there on some high-level world. But there's not. Going to a random planet and hoping you find something interesting is equivalent to going to 28 Goodwills to find a fitting garment. There's some pretty cool alien creatures, and the audio and visual design of this game is quadruple A. But I just couldn't help but feel that there was some missing opportunities here, just like the playable alien races that aren't there. The settled systems feel functionally the same as a Mojave Wasteland or a Skyrim map. Towns, instead of being surrounded by terrain you can walk through, are now just in different planetary instances. Instead of walking or riding a carriage there for the first time, you just go your mission log and click fast travel. I know that's kind of by design, but the emptiness and lack of population are really what makes the Starfield gameplay loop feel disjointed. The game's a light 7. I often praise the game while playing it, excitedly talking about my adventures or misadventures, what I found, what I did, who I killed, who I boarded, what I smuggled. I have a feeling I won't get much closer than that. So. Check it out. But just as often, I was infuriated with the game's systems, hiccups, and lackluster immersion. Starfield is the definition of more is more, while lacking the oomph in the places it needs it. It has so many things technically sound, but it all starts to crumble when the different elements need to combine for the greater experience. I would only recommend playing this if you already love open world RPGs and sci-fi settings, but also, if you don't have the patience to learn some of these new systems, you're gonna have a bad time. It is worth noting though, that fans have already made plenty of mods that fix, enhance, or add things to Starfield, so check it out if you're a PC nerd.
I never had the patience for computer systems.
That's my totally necessary review for Starfield, and thank you for watching. Consider subscribing as we try to get to 100K, and share it if you thought it was worth your time. And thanks to the patrons for making this video more possible than ever before. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Grav jump complete.